This is not just an engine. Because the moment this machine starts, something feels different. Not louder, not just faster. Backhand index pointing right different. And that difference changes everything you thought you knew about American performance. For decades, the formula was simple. Big V8, low revs, massive torque. Power that pushed you back, but never asked you to chase it. But this engine, backhand index pointing right, it wants you to chase it. It pulls you higher, and higher, and higher. Until suddenly, you realize something shocking. This doesn't feel like a traditional American V8 anymore. Backhand index pointing right, this feels like a race car. Because hidden inside this machine is something no one expected. A completely different philosophy, a completely different engineering mindset. And it all starts with one radical decision. Backhand index pointing right to abandon tradition. Because instead of following the old school muscle formula, this engine was built like something else entirely. Something sharper, more aggressive, far more precise. And when it revs, it doesn't rumble. Backhand index pointing right, it screams. A high-pitched, razor-sharp scream, climbing all the way to 8,600 revolutions per minute. Let that sink in. That's not muscle car territory. Backhand index pointing right, that's supercar territory. And suddenly, everything changes. Because now, this is no longer just about power. Backhand index pointing right, it's about how that power feels. How it builds, how it reacts, how it connects directly to you. No delay. No hesitation. Just instant response, every time your foot touches the throttle. And in a world where most performance cars rely on turbos, where power is forced, compressed, and delivered artificially, this engine does something almost rebellious. Backhand index pointing right, it stays naturally aspirated. No turbochargers, no superchargers. Nothing but pure air, fuel, and precision engineering. Which means every single bit of power you feel. Backhand index pointing right is real. And that's what makes this engine so dangerous. Because it doesn't hide behind technology. Backhand index pointing right, it exposes everything. Your inputs, your control, your skill. And if you understand it, if you push it, if you let it climb to its limit, backhand index pointing right, that's when it reveals its true identity. This is not just an engine. Backhand index pointing right, this is a race engine, disguised as a road car. Because at the heart of the Z06 lives the LT6, a 5.5-liter V8, but not the kind you expect. Because unlike traditional American engines, this one uses a flat plane crankshaft. And that changes everything. Instead of heavy, slow, traditional rotation, backhand index pointing right, you get lighter, faster, more aggressive movement. Which means higher revs, sharper throttle response, and a completely different sound. This is why, instead of a deep rumble, backhand index pointing right, you hear a scream. A sound closer to exotic supercars than anything built in America before. And then there's the way it breathes. Because this engine isn't just powerful. Backhand index pointing right, it's engineered to inhale air at insane speeds. With advanced intake systems, precision airflow control, and race-level design. It feeds the engine exactly what it needs, exactly when it needs it. The result? Backhand index pointing right, 670 horsepower. From a naturally aspirated V8. No boost, no artificial pressure, just pure output. And the way it delivers that power is what truly sets it apart. Because this isn't about explosive torque at low RPM. This is about building power. Backhand index pointing right, smoothly, progressively, relentlessly. As the revs climb, the engine becomes more alive, more aggressive, more intense. Until it reaches a point where everything feels perfectly balanced. Power, control, precision, working together. And when you're on a track, entering a corner, you feel it immediately. The engine doesn't fight you. Backhand index pointing right, it listens. It responds instantly. It gives you exactly what you ask for, nothing more, nothing less. And that level of control is what transforms this car. From something fast into something surgical. Because anyone can build power. But very few can build an engine. Backhand index pointing right, that feels this connected. So when people ask, is this still an American muscle car? The answer is simple. Backhand index pointing right, no. This is something new. Something evolved. Something that takes the raw aggression of the past and combines it with the precision of modern engineering. This is what happens when performance stops following rules and starts redefining them. Backhand index pointing right is the engine that changed everything.